Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to My Chamber TV. Yes, we are here. We are actually on location in Tarpon Woods Golf Club. And our first guest of the day, Mr. Bo Galvin. Now, I love the name Bo. I think you love the name Bo.
I do.
But you're from Zaxby's.
That is correct.
So tell us a little bit about Zaxby's.
Sure. So Zaxby's is the best hand-breaded chicken you're going to find in the greater upper Tampa Bay area and beyond. We're hand-breading all of our chicken coming in, fresh chicken. We really have a big difference than most other places is we really like to emphasize fresh. We've got fresh salads we're cutting, we're building to order, tomatoes, vegetables, cucumbers, the whole nine. And again, like I just was speaking about earlier, hand-breaded chicken. Most places you're not going to get that type of quality. And we really emphasize that in what we do because you can really taste that difference.
Right.
And what we're going to try to do too is take it a little step further and provide a level of experience, or not experience. We're going to create an experience that's going to be second to none too. You're going to go, man, am I eating at a 5-star steakhouse, or am I eating at a fast casual restaurant like Zaxby's? So
right.
That's what we really try to promote and do, and what we're doing every day, serving chicken to folks.
I've known about you guys forever because we're from the South, so Zaxby's is always, it's been around for a while.
Right.
So, the one thing that I do love, the fact is you come in, it's not a fast food joint.
Right.
It's you're right. It's an experience. You come in, you sit down, you relax.
Right.
Place is always super clean.
Sure.
The one thing that threw some of my family off who've never had Zaxby's until I took them to it, they're like, well, we want a like a 5-piece meal. I'm like, they don't. That's not what they do.
Right.
It's not like they're cutting up chickens in the back and So let's talk about the actual the menu from Zaxby's.
Sure. So kind of like I touched on earlier, our most kind of popular items. We've got a few of those. We've got our hand-breaded chicken tenders. So for those that don't know, every chicken has 2 tenders. Mm-hmm. So it's a nice cut of the chicken that we're getting. We're not having 8-way or anything like that. And for those that are unfamiliar with that, that's going to be like you're saying, your traditional breast, thigh, leg meal, stuff like that. We've got all white chicken fingers, or chicken tenders. Sorry. We've got awesome salads like I was relating to earlier. But really our other big popular items, we've got grilled sandwiches that are to die for.
Yeah.
And some now hand-breaded filet sandwiches too. They're going to be
really?
a whole breast filet that we're going to hand-bread again and top it any way you want with lettuce, tomatoes, really any way you can dream it.
Right.
So it's kind of more portable if you're on the go and you can't sit here and duck your chicken tenders in our Zaxby's sauces you're rolling down the road.
Yep.
So, and obviously, as you know, you've been to Zaxby's plenty of times being from the South. Our Zaxby sauce is to die for.
Oh, it's some of the best you'll ever get a hold of.
If we had an opportunity, I could show you a clip of my son literally just dipping his fork in the Zaxby sauce.
Eating the sauce.
And eating the sauce. And he's 2. So I don't know if that's a good habit or a bad habit to start, but just a testament of how good the sauce really is, too.
Now, your salads are nothing to be looked at. I mean, that's because when I go to Zaxby, that's my go-to.
Sure.
So I always do the chicken salad. I mean, I just love the salad with all that in there. But you have great salads.
Right. Yeah. So the salads are something that are often overlooked because most people, that have been to Zaxby's before, haven't been to Zaxby's, where they think, oh man, it's just a fried fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
They forget, or don't forget, they might not realize that we do have a plethora of salads and healthier options too.
Yes.
I'm a salad guy. I don't look like it, but I enjoy eating salads like everybody else. And like you said, it's going to be a salad that's going to come in a real bowl for you if you're dining in with us. It's going to be, like I said, made to order. So we're going to put whatever you want on it. We have our standard bases of a house, a Cobb, a Caesar, and a blue salad with blue cheese crumbles. But we can put blackened chicken on there if you want. We can put grilled chicken on there. We can put our crispy fried chicken on there.
Right.
Or we can toss it in any of our sauces. And really just any way you want. And again, you're going to leave going, man, was that a $15, $18 salad you might get, at another place in town, whereas you're getting it with us on a nice big old yellow salad bowl for half the price.
And they're not tiny. They're not like the little salad like this. I mean, they got some heft to them.
Sure. So we do have some guests that come in and they'll split them, or every now and again I was talking to someone earlier while we were here. My wife will call me and say, hey, Bo, why don't you bring a salad home for us for dinner? And, it'll fill both of us. I mean, obviously I'm a growing boy still, as my mom will tell you. But
so you have some chicken on the side.
Sure. So we might have to add a couple extra fingers or something on there. But as far as the lettuce portions and stuff, it's perfect, and it's a great healthy alternative.
Okay, so let's talk about your a food to table.
Sure.
You developed this.
Sure. Yeah. So we're rolling. Again, we're a fast casual type place, but we're trying to focus in on that experience piece,
Right?
Because that's so important. Is people come for the food, but they're going to come back for the experience. I want folks to come to Zaxby's and say, hey, you know what? Well, let's go to Zaxby's and see Bo, or let's go to Zaxby's and see some of our team members that really make a positive impact. And so one of the ways we've identified to do that is creating another experience that goes beyond your traditional fast food, fast casual experience. And we're going to bring your food to your table for you. So you're going to order at the counter. We're going to have you sit down, grab your beverage, whatever you want, condiments, stuff. And then we're going to bring your food to your table. And that's unique to our Zaxby's location. And then even some throughout the company are doing it now as well. Because again, it gives us an opportunity to connect with guests. It gives us an opportunity to provide a level of experience that's second to none almost.
Right.
And again, create that experience where people go, man, what is this?
Right.
I spent $8 on lunch. They brought me my food. They cleared my table. They refilled my drink, and I didn't have to leave them a tip. That's the best part.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're doing at our location, and it's really been successful in that we were able to kind of create relationships with folks, and we have a lot of the same people that come in over and over again,
right.
and just enjoy chatting or whatever because of that experience we're able to create.
So you create the relationship, but you also create teamwork internally.
Sure.
You're a big believer in that.
For sure. So the team's the most important part of the whole shebang, because it's only as good as your weakest link. And what I mean by that is if somebody comes in and does everything right, but one person's not running food to the right tables or doing whatever else, there's that one leg that's a little squeaky, or wheels that's squeaky, and that's the one that always gets the oil. So we got to make sure that we're running like a well-oiled machine all the time. But it is the team that does it. It's the successes of our team. We have a great team at our location, and obviously very proud of what we were able to accomplish and what we're able to do. And that's a testament of our management staff and all of our team members that we have that really just have a servant's heart to just kind of go above and beyond in all that they do.
I've never been in an Zaxby's ever that it wasn't just the courtesy, and you treat your customers very well, and you can see that the staff is happy to be there.
Right.
I remember because we just got a new Zaxby by our house.
Sure.
And the first week that the line was wrapped.
Oh yeah.
And it was packed. It was new. And even today, now I think they've been there like 3 or 4 months now.
Right.
Still packed.
Yeah.
It's good food.
Right.
It's not you're not breaking a budget.
Right.
It's really, really good. So let's talk about your community involvement.
Sure. So I'm involved in a lot of different things in the community. I'm a big, again, if you haven't figured out, never meet a stranger and really into relationships. So some of the things that I'm involved with in the community obviously are I'm going to be the president of the Oldsmar East Lake Rotary Club here in Oldsmar for the.
So you are involved.
Yes. So the 2019-2020 or 2019 year, be coming in, taking over July 1. Serve on the board of directors with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, which is obviously a great organization.
Great organization. Love Jerry and Jerry.
Yeah, the Jerry and Mark show, right?
Yeah,
and then you throw the Joes in there every now and again too.
Yeah,
and
every now and then.
Obviously, Wendy's doing great things with the nonprofits too, so we can't forget that. So those two organizations have been awesome to be involved with. Really just giving back and trying to make a positive impact in the community. Because, like I tell our team members, it starts with chicken, but it's really what we can do beyond our daily opportunities to make an impact on other folks. So leading into that, it's a nice segue for my next. I also volunteer coach football at Alonzo High School, which is located right behind our school, or behind our store.
Right.
And that's the kind of way that I feel can kind of make an impact, hopefully, in the lives of high school kids through sport. Football, I don't know a lot about football, but I've kicked a football a time or two, and that's the way that I can give back and hopefully continue
community
to show
spirit,
show folks
absolutely.
This is a positive thing we can do, and teach some folks some of the things that people take for granted, as simple as saying please and thank you. I know that's a big thing that we really kind of try to hone at our Zaxby's location, and then just in life is you can grow up in any way, shape, or form, but if you can say please and thank you, it's going to get you pretty far in life.
Absolutely. Now, you do salad bowls to the local food pantry.
Sure.
And then you surprise your local fire stations with thank you lunches.
Right.
Let's talk about that. That's gotta make you feel good and them feel good.
Sure. So that's a whole nother segment that we try to support. Other nonprofits and stuff like that. We had all new salad bowls that we had to come bring in, so we donated all of our old ones to Sharon Edwards and the Pop Drop folks, which Sharon's an unbelievable asset in our community.
Phenomenal.
Every now and again we'll pop into fire stations, just drop off chicken just to say thank you. We've donated toothbrushes. My wife works for a large dental corporation here in Tampa, and they donated like 300 or 400 toothbrushes to a cause that we were involved with. And it's just doing stuff like that because fortunately I've been blessed. We've all been blessed well more than we should. So it's really just trying to continue to pass it along and do a little small part. And if everybody does it, the world's going to be a heck of a lot better place.
Exactly. And you also sponsored the Oldsmar Library Summer Reading Program.
Yes, sir. So we were approached by Anthony over at the Oldsmar Library as a way that we could kind of make an impact in the Oldsmar area directly. And they really pushing that library reading program that they've got over there. And we think obviously reading and stuff is very important, and too many people take it for granted.
Absolutely.
So we provided some incentive for those guys and those kids that are participating in that program with meals and cookies and other stuff. And they've been a great partner as well for us.
So where can we find you? Where is that store located?
Sure. So you can find me at 11619 West Hillsborough Avenue. Just on the other side of Racetrack Road in Hillsborough County on the left, in a Super Target shopping center. And if my big blue truck's out front, I'm there. So
big blue. Look for the big blue truck.
That's it. Come in and ask for me, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for being
on. Thanks
we'll
for
be
having
right
me.
back, and we'll be talking to Becky Afonso from the director of the Florida Bicycle Association. And I actually have some questions for her about all the bicyclists and stuff like that, and all the stuff that's going on. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Awesome.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, we're back. Welcome to My Chamber TV with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. I got to make sure I say that right because we don't want Jerry upset with me. He gets grumpy. Anyway, welcome back. Now, we are talking with Becky Afonso.
Yes.
And you are with the Florida Bicycle Association. You're actually the director.
Yes, executive director.
Okay, so tell me, what is the Florida Bicycle Association?
The question on everybody's mind,
Yeah.
right? We are a 501c3 nonprofit, statewide coverage. We represent cyclists through education and advocacy.
Okay, so do you train? Do you teach? Do you give lessons on how to ride or
Done
the
stuff
rules
like
of the
that.
road?
Yes, we work with the Florida Department of Transportation. We serve on their Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Coalition and on their Pedestrian Bicycle Partnership Council. We also work with, and our foundation, or our association sits on the foundation of the Florida Greenways and Trails.
Okay.
I am also the chair of the Florida Greenways and Trails Council. So there's a lot of road issues for cyclists, there's off-road issues for cyclists, and of course there's the multi-use trails that I sit at a very good vantage point in this position and being in Tampa, centrally located. But the association in of itself, it was actually originally founded in 1987 by the Polk County Bike Ped Coordinator. They were sponsoring the post-Grape Nut Cereal Bike Festival in Tampa. That association realized in trying to do the work it wanted to do for cyclists across the state, they needed a money revenue. They couldn't find it. It actually folded a little bit, and then it reestablished itself in 1997.
Okay.
And within a couple years, we got the Share the Road specialty license plate. And from that point forward, with a little bit of extra funding for administrative, and we're doing what we need to be doing within statute, we've been able to, since 1997, be that voice for cyclists in the state of Florida.
Okay.
And monitor all these things through education, through teaching. We work with and promote the League of American Bicyclists, I think they're calling it now the Smart Cycling classes. We also kind of incubated Cycling Savvy, which is now a national education component under the American Bicycling Education Association.
Okay.
And then we do our own publications, and we learned from back in 1998 that what a lot of misunderstanding comes from are what are the bicycle statutes in Florida.
Right.
So we extracted them and put them in their own little guide, which we have right here.
Which is cool.
Right, and initially it was for law enforcement, but then we realized motorists need this information and cyclists need this information. And then it started becoming that we also need to put pedestrian laws in there as well. So now if you flip that book over, one side is bicycle and one side is pedestrian. So we've been doing this publication since 98 or 99, and it's free upon request. We use our funding money to actually do the publication of that book. And that's been a big help in getting just about everybody in Florida on what the laws are, that cyclists do have a legal right to be in the road, and how we are supposed to act as vehicles.
Right. I was going to, that was going to be the question. It's like a lot of people don't realize that there is a Share the Road, and they do have the right to be there in the whole
Exactly.
I've seen them where they get these big long trains and just people get so aggravated, and I'm like, well, they have the right to be there, but they know the rules. They have to get over. You can
Exactly. And it's one of those things where you see bad behavior by just about everybody who uses the road. It could be a motorist, a pedestrian, or a cyclist.
Right.
I like to kind of reiterate the use of what I call practicing CPR, which is courtesy, patience, and respect. And then if you take what the Department of Transportation is doing, what all of your metropolitan planning organizations are doing with road treatment and infrastructure,
Right.
if we followed all of those components, I bet it would work. I bet if every motor vehicle stopped at the stop bar, pedestrians wouldn't be hitting the crosswalk.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that we need to be accountable for as the user, which I think gets overlooked when there's all this new technology out there, but we still have to be accountable for ourselves.
Well, this right here always seems to be the one piece of equipment that messes everything up. So, so where are you located?
Right now, the position of executive director, it's kind of a virtual position, follows where the executive director lives,
Okay.
and I happen to live in Oldsmar. Actually, I live in downtown Oldsmar. It's even better.
Oh, so you are a true Oldsmarian? Is that how they say that, or whatever the word is?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great location for this association in that it's centrally located. I can easily get to Miami. I can get to Jacksonville. I can get
Yeah.
to Tallahassee. Pensacola knows it takes a little bit of effort, but I do get there every once in a while.
Right.
And of course, in this area, even though it's densely populated and it's considered an urban county, we're not far from rural counties. And they have different issues with regards to transportation,
Right.
infrastructure, and treatment that it lends itself to if I need to see something in Hardy County or something like that, it's not that far of a drive as
Right,
well.
right.
And then there's a level of what they call bicycle-friendly communities from the League of American Bicyclists. And there's also this new Department of Environmental Protection, Office of Greenway Trails, Trails Town that Florida launched. Dunedin was actually the first trail town
Right.
that got that designation. So we do have some samples within this area where they're easily to get to, but then it's easy to go out and point back to other areas as far as these best practices for what's going on in cycling in Florida.
That's absolutely awesome. Let's talk about, we touched on the FBA program, right? How do people get a hold of you to be able to talk to you about that program?
Well, what we have on our website, and I believe we've probably put the URL up there.
Probably already got it up there a couple times.
We've got a couple blocks. One of them is called our Speakers Bureau. It's an FBA request. There's a form you can fill out. You can actually specify the content you would like us to talk about.
Right.
And we can go out there and do that. We've worked with civic organizations such as the Rotary Club. We're actually now starting to go into libraries as part of their summer programming, where we'll do some basic education for the public in those venues. And what we're calling the Speakers Bureau as far as that goes to get out there. Our publications are online if anybody wants to request a copy of the Law Enforcement Guide or what we have, Florida Bicycling Street Smarts, which actually goes into more comprehensive understanding of how to actually ride in the road. It's great for commuter bicyclists. Anybody looking at active transportation, wants to get out of their car, wants to avoid some traffic, this is a great book and great resource to have at your disposal.
And they just go online and order it?
Yes, they can do that.
Request it.
There's a form on our website for that, and we're now actually launching, or we had launched last year, what we're calling a Ride Leader, Ride Marshal certification program. And this is really to kind of go over the fundamentals of group riding. And there's a block on our website for that. So we actually have our next public session Saturday in Tampa over at the University of South Florida. And our registration for that is open until midnight tomorrow, I believe. So there's still time. If anybody's interested in that, they can go online and register for that. And while I'm talking about that, I'm going to mention that Bike Walk Tampa Bay, which is a regional advocacy group, is having their summit Friday. And if you go to their website, which you can ask me from my website, that is still open and there's still availability to attend. And I believe their keynote speaker is the new mayor, Jane Castor.
Oh, wow. That's phenomenal. So did you guys have any, and this is not on your notes or notes, did you have any say or any input on the bike rental side over in Hillsborough County, like in Tampa?
I won't say we had any say in it, but we do monitor those things. And I did sit with Senator Brandes and I sat with Representative Jackie Toledo with regards to the micromobility bill, which I believe the governor signed yesterday.
He did.
And there were some issues coming from membership of our association with regards to speed on sidewalks, being treated as a bicycle. And, you know, the more the merrier is how I look at it. If more individual, humanized experiences are happening on the road, motorists may start to pay more attention. You know, you picked up your phone. I'm happy to say that our association was part of the Florida Don't Text and Drive Coalition, which had numerous organizations from around the state.
Right.
And we did our part with making contact with legislators, committee members, and I was actually able to make the bill signing in Sarasota to make texting as a primary offense. And we still have things to do, we know that. The distracted driving has been a big issue. It scares cyclists.
I think the phone shouldn't be touched at all in a car.
And we may get there in a couple years,
Right.
and it comes from repeated access to legislators and their staff. It's actually relationship building.
Right.
It's more about how we can help each other, and that's part of our education mission, is why these things are a bad idea and why we need to we can do better. Florida can do better.
Got it. So I have a question for you, and these are just these. This is the way my brain works. Sidewalk or road? Where's a bike belong?
Bike belongs on the road, and the primary reason being is they have access. Roads connect to everything. Conditions of sidewalks are questionable, and you actually, if you are on the sidewalk, which you legally can be, you actually have to yield to pedestrians, you have to act as a pedestrian, and you have to be more diligent about where you're looking when you're crossing intersections. If you're in the road, you're traffic, you move with the flow of traffic. But when you're on a sidewalk, motor vehicles may not be expecting you, cyclists may not be expecting you, darting across lines, looking around all the way. It's a lot of work, and you got to pay a lot of attention to be on a sidewalk.
Okay, helmet, no helmet?
Oh, helmet.
Helmet. Always, you're supposed to have that helmet on.
You know,
right?
the law is 16 and under, but you only have one brain. Save it.
Yeah. Some don't have that, but
Well.
hey, it is what it is. Okay, and the last one is, and you actually you touched on it, with the flow or against the flow?
Oh, it's with the flow.
Always with the flow.
You are traffic, you are with the flow.
And so if you come to a four-way stop, you must stop at that four-way stop,
Absolutely.
just like you're a motorized vehicle.
Absolutely. Yeah, and for those that think riding against traffic gives you an advantage to see what's going to hit you, that's called a head-on collision. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
And any signage or anything like that, you're not going to see it because you're facing the wrong way.
Right. Okay, so if people want to reach out to you, how do they get hold of you?
Easiest thing is Becky at floridabicycle.org. That's my email. I am very good at responding to email, primarily because I can do it at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Phone calls are available. We have all of that information is on our website.
It's on the website. Okay, and like you said, you're pretty responsive.
Yes.
Yes, that's absolutely phenomenal.
I've been trained in customer service.
Customer service. We will return those phone calls.
Yes.
Becky,
Pleasure.
thank you, my dear. Thanks for coming on. Hey, we're going to be right back with we're going to talk to Colonel Cary Harbaugh, and he's part of the U.S. Special Operations Command, and he is part of the Warrior Games. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
Dude, I got this cool.
Consumer advocate, your host, and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're back. This is a great facility, Tarpon Woods Golf Club, but it's a Jan Stevenson's Crossroads Foundation is actually the owner, correct?
That is correct. The Jan Stevenson's Crossroads Foundation acquired the golf course just a little over 2 years ago, and it has become a very big part of our lives. We are one of only 5 Purple Heart recognized golf facilities in the U.S.
Okay.
And the reason is what we do for our combat veterans and first responders. We've had the Warrior Games folks out here many times, which are coming up right away, right around the corner here.
Right, 21st, right?
The 21st through the 30th of June.
Okay. I know Colonel's going to come on and talk about that. So.
Yeah, the Colonel will be here shortly. But anyway, for the past 2 days, we have had the contestants, which are competing in the Warrior Games here, and they've been evaluated and getting lessons personally from a Hall of Fame golfer, Jan Stevenson.
Yeah, she's an awesome lady. I've met her twice, and awesome lady.
She's pretty incredible. I've known Jan for a long time, and we've had this has been a labor of love. It's been a challenge. The golf course was not in the best of condition when we took it over a little over 2.5 years ago.
Right.
And it has it's being transitioned right now into a really good golf facility. And of course, it's always money. You know, we are a foundation, so.
Right.
Funds are always an issue. And if anybody out there would like to help us out,
there you go.
Jan Stevenson Crossroads Foundation, you go to Jan's Crossroads Foundation, janscrossroads.org. janscrossroads.org.
He'll put it up.
We just changed.
Bob's good about that. He'll
we just
find all
changed
that
the website
stuff.
name.
Right.
It used to be JS Crossroads, but now it's janscrossroads.org.
Yeah. So let's talk about the facility.
Well, the facility is 18 holes of golf. We have 18 championship holes. It has been the home for some very famous people around here. The New York Yankees used to play here years ago with George Steinbrenner.
Really?
Many, many years ago, when the place first opened back in the 70s through the 80s, George Steinbrenner used to bring all of his buddies from the New York Yankees out here, and they would play golf, and you'd be surprised who you could see out here. Tommy Bolt was the original golf pro here. He's a Hall of Fame golfer.
Yeah, he is.
I had the pleasure of knowing Tommy very well, and I got to go to his Hall of Fame induction in 2002 when he was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame.
Right. Now, it's a tight course.
It's a very challenging course. It requires you to hit all different kinds of shots. You have to hit a little bit of a fade, you have to hit a little bit of draw, and you got to hit a straight ball. I mean, it requires all different kinds of shots.
Right. Now it used to be a closed course at one point.
This was originally a private golf course, and Tarpon Woods Golf Club was the premier golf club in the Tampa Bay area for a very long time.
Right. I played in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, this was originally a private facility. It has gone through a lot of different transitions of ownerships over the years. Ennisbrook owned it at one time, and it has gone up and down, and we're hopefully bringing it on the way back up.
Right. Okay. So, it's par 5. I mean, we have par 5s, par 4.
It's a par 72 championship
Right, so
golf course.
It's a true championship course.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And now, hole 9, which is right behind us, right? Correct.
Yes, that is hole number 9.
And nice little clubhouse here. You can come in, get a cocktail, do the nice little turn.
The Crooked Wood Restaurant is here, and boy, I'll tell you what, if you like good food and great atmosphere and great service, these people do a fantastic job.
Do they really? So what's some of the stuff that's on the menu?
Well, they have a very unique menu.
Okay.
Everything here is made fresh. It's not institutional food like some of the chain restaurants.
So I can't come get old basket of chicken wings.
You can.
Well,
but what they do is everything here is made fresh.
Wow.
It is not pre-made or pre-packaged by one of the big chains.
Right.
So if you come in and want a roast beef sandwich or a turkey sandwich, they roasted the roast beef and the turkey right back there, and they slice it.
Oh, so it's literally made.
It's literally made right here. Everything is made fresh.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Miss Jan for a little bit. This lady's she's just been a pro, right? She's the bomb.
Let me tell you something. We had the privilege of last week attending her Hall of Fame induction at Pebble Beach, right before the Men's U.S. Open.
Oh.
What an experience! There were virtually every Hall of Famer was there. Jack Nicklaus, Nick Price, Lee Trevino, every major player,
big names,
and all the women, Beth Daniel, Julie Inkster, Annika Sorenstam, they were all there, and it was really exciting. They were so accessible. They treated us like royalty. Jan was she did such a great job at her Hall of Fame induction speech.
Right.
And it was the only time I think I've ever seen Jan really nervous. I've caddied for Jan a lot of years.
So she's played in front of millions of people.
She's had some of the most difficult situations you could imagine, and the nerves were there, but she didn't outwardly show them.
Right.
She told me this was about as nervous as she's ever been.
Oh my! Now she belongs to an organization in Australia that teaches blind.
Yes, well, she's been an ambassador for blind and disabled golf for about 30 years now. So she's taken courses on how to train blind and disabled golfers, which fits perfectly into what we're doing here with the military and first responders, because we have a lot of injured veterans and first responders that have lost limbs and sight. And we had the Lighthouse for the Blind came out here a few months back and brought a whole lot of visually impaired golfers. Some of them were legally blind, some are totally blind, and you would be amazed at how well some of these people can hit the golf ball not being able to see,
because they just feel that natural swing.
Well,
get the swing and
Jan teaches them how to hit a golf ball. What they do, she starts out with what's called an impact bag.
Right.
It's a bag that's probably this big around and like this, and it's filled with some heavy towels or something.
Right.
And they learn how to hit something with a golf club. Then you transition from that to actually hitting a golf ball.
Oh, okay.
So you get the feel of what it's like to hit something with a golf club.
Okay.
And then they have what's called a coach, and the coach directs them so that they can properly get into the line so they hit the ball in the direction they want to go.
Right.
And we had some folks out here. We had one of the gentlemen who was the National Blind Golf Association champion, and he was amazing. He hit it very long and very straight.
You know, sometimes it just taking that whole anticipation of. I mean, I've golfed. I've been golfing for 20 years, and the anticipation of going and hitting the ball, just being able to see is like, and then people watching you. I guess kind of that may take some of that little bit of that pressure angst.
We have total vision and all the use of our limbs and faculties, and we still have a hard time.
Yeah.
When you're missing some of those items, it is really difficult.
Right.
And the people that were here this past week, and you'll see them this weekend at the Warrior Games competing, they are such inspirational people because they have overcome such enormous disabilities. I mean, missing limbs, eyesight, traumatic brain injuries. It's inspiring to see what these
Right.
folks have overcome. And we can never say thank you enough to those folks.
No, we cannot. Absolutely. So you do a lot of fundraising.
We do. We have a lot of things we do out here. We do. Matter of fact, Jan Stevenson has donated her 1987 Porsche 924S to the foundation. It's been restored. It is absolutely pristine, and somebody is going to win that car. Tickets are $50. The drawing will be in March of next year. If they want to buy a ticket, they can go to jscrossroads.com, and you can do it on there, or come to Tarpon Woods Golf Club,
Right.
purchase a ticket. All the proceeds are going to help us with our fundraising activities to provide services for our veterans and first responders.
Okay, so if I'm a first responder, I just come in and how do you help these guys?
Well, we offer
support them.
we offer discounts off of rack rate to every first responder or veteran here, retired or active, either one, makes no difference. If they need some assistance, we have lessons we can give to them. We hold clinics. The clinics are all done here at no charge.
Wow.
They can come here, they can spend time. We had the Wounded Warriors out here 2 weeks ago, and they had 41 combat vets out here, and we gave them lessons. They went out and played golf. It was complimentary. There was no charge to those folks. We had lunch for them. It was really an impressive day.
Okay. So what's coming up? What's coming up, Mike?
Well, coming up in November is going to be the 3rd annual Jan Stevenson Celebrity Invitational Golf Classic and Legendary Voices of Rock concert. The concert will be at the Oldsmar Flea Market.
Okay.
Grady Pridgeon, who is the new owner of the flea market, has graciously donated the flea market for our use for the concert. That will be on November the 10th, and we will have some tremendous headline acts that'll be there. And then the next day will be the golf tournament here at Tarpon Woods Golf Club, and we have LPGA, PGA, baseball players, football players. So we have a lineup of some very, very good celebrities to come in, and they all donate their time to come help us raise money to support the cause and the fundraising efforts for the facility.
Now, you say rock stars.
Well, last year, what we do is we have one band, which is the Stormbringer band, does the backup,
Okay.
and I bring the lead singer from very famous bands. Last year, we had Mike Reno from Loverboy.
Okay.
We had John Cafferty and Michael Antunes from the Beaver Brown Band.
Yeah.
And we had Robbie Steinhardt, the violinist and singer from the band Kansas. And the previous year, we did it at the Capitol Theater. We had Mike Reno was here also. We had Charlie Hune, who's the guitar player and lead singer for Foghat.
Right.
And Robbie was also with us. This year, we're working on trying to, hopefully I can convince Mickey Thomas from Starship to come.
Oh, that's awesome.
John Cafferty from the Beaver Brown Band called me last night and said he had such a great time, he wants to come back again. He said, tell me the date and I'll put it on my calendar. I'll block it out. And then Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult.
Wow, okay, so do you need video guys? You need some help? You want some streaming? We can do live streaming. We can probably
negotiate.
figure out something to do here.
It's
for
pretty
you
cool.
guys.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you,
absolutely.
it's a lot of fun. We have a great time.
Okay, so if someone wants to come and support you guys and help you guys or just play golf, tell them where you're at.
We're at 1100 Tarpon Woods Boulevard in Palm Harbor. You can come here if you're a veteran, military, or active, retired, first responder. Just show us your ID or just tell us you are. We believe you, and you will get discounts off of the green fees and range balls and merchandise in the pro shop. If you want some assistance or you need help, let us know and we'll tell you when our next clinic is going to be, and we'd love to have you come here. Jan personally comes and helps out, and it's a wonderful opportunity for people to gain some camaraderie, share some of the things that they've had experiences with, and basically just overcome some of the trials and tribulations that they've had from the experiences they've had.
Mike,
John, thank you.
Thanks for letting us be here. This is a great facility. Guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking to Colonel Cary Harbaugh about the Warrior Games that are here in Tampa this weekend. I think it's this weekend, right?
It is this weekend.
All right, we'll be right back.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, everybody, we're back. Final segment, My Chamber TV. We are with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, and we're here at the Tarpon Woods Golf Club. And now we have got Colonel Cary Harbaugh. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for your service. I absolutely love you guys. So let's talk about the Warrior Games, because that's what you're here about. So
That is what I'm here about.
Let's hear about this.
Coming up here, just a couple days, we will start the Warrior Games on the 21st. We already have the teams in town, with the exception of one that is arriving tomorrow night, and that's the Denmark team. So
Are they secretive?
they're not. They just wanted to take their time to get here, and I love the Danes. By the way, they're good. They're good. They've been great partners. Denmark's been a phenomenal partner for us, not only in the battlefields of the earth, but also throughout the adaptive sports community. We have 10 teams total that are in, 9 that are already on site here in the Tampa area. And they're doing their practice sessions and getting acclimated to the Tampa, heat and humidity. For some of the folks that are traveling from Texas or other places, it's not that big a change. For those that are coming in from say the UK. They're having a little bit of humid shock, so they're all getting ready for it. But we've got 300 athletes total that are coming in, 200 U.S. There are 5 programs in the Department of Defense that conduct warrior care, and that is the 4 traditional services as you know them. But I always like to clarify that the Marine Corps is not its own service; it falls under the Department of Navy, but they are at least one of those services we think of. And then the Special Operations Command also has a warrior care program that is been authorized by Congress and by the Department of Defense, and that's because Special Operations Community is unique. I've been running that program for the last 5.5 years. And in that capacity, have been taking a team to the Warrior Games every year. This is now my 6th Warrior Game, along with 4 Invictus Games, and that's the international version of our Warrior Games.
That's the world side.
Well,
right?
that is the one. Actually, Invictus was born from Warrior Games. Prince Harry came out to the 2013 Warrior Games and said we need to do something on the international level. And then there's, I think, 16, and they might have moved to 18 partner nations that now field a team for Invictus. Ours is, of course, the U.S. version, and we've now internationalized it as well by bringing in the UK, Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, and Denmark for this particular game. So we've got 100 international athletes along with the 200, because each of the 5 programs in the Department of Defense field a team of 40. And then we got about 100 athletes from pretty good sized teams, though. UK, Australia, Canada, all almost full teams. And then the other smaller nations have a little more modest size, and that's why they've only got about 100 athletes. And they'll be in. We start on the 21st. Golf was a sport we added, which is obviously why we're out here at Tarpon Woods, because they've been an important partner with us in the preparation for Warrior Games. But we added golf, and we start off with golf at the Eagles Golf Club on the 21st. Given the PGA Tour treatment by ProLink Sports that runs the Valspar along with 7 other PGA Tour events every year.
Right.
And so a really accomplished team to help give us the tour treatment for our Wounded Warriors. Got about 39 golfers, I think was the last count I saw, that will be participating in the golf event and vying for medals both at the team level as well as at the individual level. 21st and the 22nd are the days of golf, and I'd encourage everybody to get out there that's in this area to get out there and be part of the gallery, cheer for the Wounded Warriors, get to meet them if they have the chance, get to know their families. It'll be on the sidelines as well, and get to see them. This facility, Tarpon Woods, has been instrumental in our preparations for that. Jan Stevenson and Mike and Diane, who run the Crossroads Foundation for her and manage this course for her, have been tremendous partners for us and have lent what Tarpon Woods does out here in assisting wounded warriors, both veteran and active duty, as well as first responders with golf training, accessible course, reduced cost to no cost for lots of their training and aspects. So it's been an important partnership for us, not only for this Warrior Games, but also in the build-up to it, because our team training for US SOCOM, because we're, of course, the local team, and the home team, and I hope the team that everybody in the Tampa Bay area wants to cheer for. And the reason being now is that the SOCOM team has got a little bit of everybody, because it's the special operators of all the different services. So we have Marines and Air Force and Navy, and all the versions of special ops fall under us. So when you cheer for us, you're cheering for the true joint purple team, as we like to say in the military side. But so this facility and what Jan has lent her Hall of Fame stature and her skills, experience, and really a big heart to helping our folks out and getting them prepared for the golf event. And she's going to be out there to be our honorary. She's going to be a starter as well as hit the ceremonial tee shot as we open the games up on Friday morning. So that'll be phenomenal. You get past Friday. Friday, the only sport that we have is golf. Saturday we do the second round of golf, but we're also out at University of South Florida for track. and wheelchair tennis. And then we'll close off those sports about midday, and then we'll go and reset, and we have opening ceremonies in Amalie Arena that night. Jon Stewart, Daily Show fame, and obviously recent increased fame by his challenging of Congress when it comes to support of our first responders and their health care. He's been a great partner of ours for years. It's his 4th Warrior game that he's the master of ceremonies for us. And he's also been partnered with the Special Operations Program for a long time in helping us we have got obviously special operators that are fighting cancer too. And so he's been a very, very forward in providing his support. He will be there as the MC. He makes it fun. He's hilarious, and we've got a really cool video that everybody ought to come to the games to see. You don't get to see it online. You got to come to the games to see it. Opening ceremonies and closing, for that matter, the 2 ceremonies in Amalie Arena, the only thing in Warrior games that have a cost, and it's modest. You get a 4-pack, I think, of tickets for like $70 for a family of 4. Very reasonable. You see John. You see a Paralympic, Olympic-style opening ceremony with all that pomp and pageantry. You'll have amazing music, Amalie Arena, fantastic venue and stage.
Beautiful.
The march of the teams, the march of the torch, the lighting of the cauldron, the opening of the games, John's humor and comedy. And then we have Hunter Hayes, a country music artist that I think many people know and appreciate out there for entertainment. So a phenomenal opening ceremony. And then the next morning, on the 23rd, on the iconic drive of the Tampa area, Bayshore Drive, we'll have the cycling time trial. And you will see roughly about 120 Wounded Warrior athletes, all levels of disability, on uprights to recumbents to kneeling cycles, racing as fast as they can on an 8-kilometer, basically 5-mile course on Bayshore Drive, up to almost to Platt Street and back from Bay to Platt, going as fast as they can for medals. And that will be, we have the paracommandos from SOCOM dropping in, with a parachute jump to get the crowd spun up. We're hoping to have the streets lined with Tampanians and all the people from the outer community, along with anybody else that flies into Tampa and wants to come watch the Warrior games. So that's on the cycling. We'll also back out at USF that day for field, which is shot put and discus in our event. Varying disabilities. You may be throwing from a chair. You may be throwing standing up. Depends on what you have for debilitation. And we'll be concluding tennis on Sunday, the wheelchair tennis competition out there at USF. Next day, Monday, and really through Monday through Friday, we'll be in the Tampa Convention Center. All these sports, by the way, totally free to the public. All you do is come out. It's totally free. Get out there, including Convention Center, and we're on the entire convention floor there, and we'll have wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, seated volleyball, shooting, air pistol, air rifle, Olympic match quality systems there. Archery, recurve bow, and compound bow. And you'll see Wounded Warriors that don't have an arm doing a mouth draw, yet putting an arrow on target. It is incredibly impressive, incredibly inspirational. So I'd encourage everybody to get out to all those sports. And when you get in the Tampa Convention Center, you can rotate around and see lots of different adaptive sports and see the competition, and it is intense. I would encourage anybody who likes sports to come out and watch wheelchair rugby. We're pushing that one. It's another new sport we added this year, just as we added golf and wheelchair tennis.
Right.
Wheelchair rugby is, you got these guys in these wheelchairs with Mad Max grates in front of them, just bashing into each other. Anybody thinks that a Wounded Warrior's lost his competitive juices needs to come watch it.
Come watch that.
They will see something else. It is affectionately called, or the term that we use informally for wheelchair rugby is murder ball. They are trying to kill each other. So the spirit and willingness to take out your opponent has not been lost, no matter what your disabilities may be. So wheelchair rugby we played in there, but wheelchair basketball, incredibly competitive. Seated volleyball, we got a lot of teams. We got some teams, including some of our international partners, that come specifically for seated volleyball. Yesterday, when I was at the Tampa airport receiving the Netherlands, it was like every one of the Dutchmen are huge. I mean, I'm talking giants.
Big boys.
And I know the Denmark team extremely well. They're coming, and they're all the Great Danes. I mean, they're massive. So I said, okay, just take it easy on us, will you, for the love of God? Even though I know my special operators can hang in there with them. So they've got sports there 5 days in the Tampa Convention Centers, all the days I mentioned, with one pop-out, and that's on Wednesday the 26th. We'll be doing the cycling road race on MacDill, and you got to have base access to be able to get onto it. And it's going to be out there, and it's the long long race that we do, the road race that we do, and it's really being run on the airfield. So if you're a veteran or and have access to the base, I'd encourage you to make the run out there to see the cycling. Phenomenal event, but it's the only one that we're taking on to the installation because we wanted to have as much of this in the community as we could.
Yes.
Saturday the 29th, we come out to Clearwater to the Long Aquatic Center. And we will be there doing the swim event, which is about 40% of our athletes participate in swimming, all different classifications. Some people may recall, if they saw ESPN coverage of Warrior Games last year, James Howard, Captain James Howard, he's a SOCOMer Ranger, who was swimming. He's a quadriplegic. Completing his 50-meter swim, I'll tell you, if something won't put a lump in your throat, watch these guys fight through the water to do it. But you're also going to see not only James getting through his disability, and this is, Warrior Games is one of those places where you cheer as much for last place as you do for first. Winning is getting here. Winning is being in the competition. And so you'll see also some amazing competitors, guys missing legs that are going at speeds that none of us could swim. Okay, so it is incredibly impressive to see that. So the swimming event is an all-day event out at Long Aquatic Center in Clearwater. And then on Sunday, we move back to USF to the Yuengling Center for our final sport competition, and that is the medal matches, the bronze medal and then the gold medal match for seated volleyball, which we're doing in Yuengling Center, final sport competition. And again, totally free to the public, all that stuff, even Yuengling, which normally if you were going to a USF game, for instance, you'd have some fee. Nothing for this, just come in and watch and cheer. And then that evening, back into Amalie Arena for closing ceremonies. Again, John doing his humor, the March of the Teams, and in this case, special awards that are given at the end of every Warrior game. Each of the teams selects their most inspirational athlete. It's called the Heart of the Team Award. I have not left one of these ceremonies in the years that I've been doing this without tears rolling. When they talk about the member of their team, and it's the coach or it's the captain of their team that's usually coming forward to say, this is why Sergeant, you name him, has been so inspirational to us, that it will get you choked up. And so the Heart of Team Awards are presented, and then we will be doing something very special, and that's when my commander, General Rich Clark, who is the host for these games, will be passing the torch to the Marine Corps. And he, along with Mayor Castor, will be handing the torch to our friends at the Marine Corps, who I think it's Lieutenant General Rocco coming in to take the torch for the Marine Corps, and the mayor of San Antonio, as the Marine Corps in San Antonio will be holding the games in 2020. So that's the full span of the 10 days of sport.
That is a lot.
A lot to do.
That is amazing. Okay, so if you didn't catch all that, you can go to the DoDWarriorGames.com.
That's it. DoDWarriorGames.com has the full schedule. Go to Ticketmaster, and you can get tickets to opening and closing ceremonies. Again, very reasonably priced. We're trying to get fans in the stands is our mantra right now. Be inspired is our motto. You will be inspired. I encourage people to come out to see these games, to see these athletes, and as much get to know the athletes as just watch them. Get to know them on the sidelines. Get to know their families. Their families have borne the burdens of these health crises that they've got based on wounds, illnesses, or injuries. The families have had to bear these crises as much as the athlete has, or as the wounded warrior has.
Right.
So please get to know them. It will touch your heart in ways that you can't imagine. And as well, you're going to see some phenomenal sport. Anybody thinks this is just kind of like stumbling around the courts? It's not. Right. They're amazing athletes. I think Mike was talking about some of the athletes who've been out here the past few days when it came to the practice for golf. We got some very low handicap golfers, and that includes ones with prosthetic legs. So it's not like you're seeing low quality competition here.
No.
You will see high quality sport, and it will see it in a new way and in a new light, performed by people who deserve our honor and respect because they've earned it.
Colonel Harbaugh, thank you for coming and being on My Chamber
Honor
TV.
to be with you. Thanks.
All right, all My Chamber TV watchers out there, make sure you support these games.
Please.
Go, go, go. It's good. And even, make sure you're there for the opening and the close. You got to be there. Go to these events. Go on to DoDWarriorGames.com. Look at the schedule. And you know what? I think you're going to really like it. So we'll see you next week. We have Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce coming into the studio, and we'll see you then.